What is up, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming at you guys with something a little different from what I normally do. I know back in the Sylvan era I did this, but I haven't done this for quite a while. And I'm going to be bringing you guys essentially a test hand video of Ignights. I know a lot of you won't have had a chance to see this deck played with the real cards, if at all I've seen it played. So I figured I'd actually bring you guys some plays. We're always going to assume that we're going first in these, because I mean, going second is all good and nice, but you've of course got all the MSTs and all the variables like that you want to worry about, and you'd all comment about it. So we're going to be going first for all of these. I should remind you, for anyone who hasn't seen the deck profile, firstly, check it out in the description down below. Secondly, the two face down cards in this deck will be two copies of Ignight Crusader. I only have one Crusader at the moment, but you honestly have to play three. So we're gonna go into this starting hand. So we're opening up okay. We've got a Rotor, a Library, a Baseball Kid, the Mallet, which I'm considering, which these are going to be swapped out for Tyrant's Throws. I've already taken one out, but I've got another couple of Tyrant's Throws on the way in the mail. We've opened up fairly strongly. Now, I need to grab my dice, because I forgot to, for the purposes of the library. But now we've opened Royal Magical Library, we've opened a pretty strong hand. So we're going to use the Mallet as it should be, and we're going to use the Crusader as it should be. So we're going to summon the Library. First off, we're going to start our play with the Library as per usual. Now, for my combo plays, I like to try and get my my level 4s into the extra deck as quickly as possible. So what we're going to first be doing is, I'm unsure where I want to go with this, simply because of the fact that I've got the Mallet in hand. I'm actually just going to Mallet away the Baseball Kid for the first counter on the Library, because at the moment the Baseball Kid is one of the cards that isn't contributing towards our play. Of course, the Mallet will be coming out in future incarnations, but for the moment we're going to play it as it is and as we see it. So we're going to draw one new card. So we're going to draw the Tyrant's Throws. So that's the card that the actual Mallet is meant to be. So we've actually opened fairly poorly, but we'll do what we can with this hand. I'm not going to structure any of these plays. I figured I'm just going to kind of play it out as I would in a game. So the Rotor brings us to two counters on our Royal Magical Library, and we're going to search out a copy of Ignight Templar. So we're going to add the Templar to our hand. I'm then going to, if my cards can be the right way up, activate the Templar, bringing us to 3 counters on the Royal Magical Library. I'm then going to remove the 3 to draw a card, giving us another Templar. So at this point, I feel it's more correct to just activate the second Templar, putting us back to 1, and activate its effect to destroy the 2 and search. So we're going to be getting a hold of, we have to get the correct scale just in case this doesn't this essentially doesn't go our way. So we are going to get the third Templar here, because the card in hand is a Crusader and it's a 2. So I'm actually going to switch the Crusader out quickly for a real copy of it. There it is. So put the Crusader back in the deck and get a real copy of it, just for the visual aid. So we have a hand like this. We're then going to activate the Templar and the Crusader. And we're then going to, that brings us up to 3. And we're then going to, of course, remove the 3 and draw another card. So we draw the Squire. So we have this as our hand now. So we are free to pop these 2 and search again. So we're going to be searching a copy of, I believe we want to keep our opening play strong. So we need to get the last level 4 that we would need for the play, realistically. So we're going to get the Paladin. Here's the part where we can either take risks, or we can not take risks and just go with a solid field. So I believe at this stage, what do we have in our extra deck? Our extra deck is 3 Templar and a Crusader. So we can make a play, but we risk not having a Ronganimiad. But at the same time, we have the throws, so I'm going to make the safe play here. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate the Paladin, and we're going to activate the Squire. That brings us to 2 on our library. We're then going to Pendulum Summon. We're going to Pendulum Summon the 3 Templar and the Crusader, because we're going to be making a throws play, because we're not going to be able to make a Ronganimiad play here, so we're just going to make the best throws play we can based on what's in our hand. So we have this as our board. We're then going to sacrifice these 2 off, we'll destroy them both to search one more time. So we're going to search out a copy of, I believe we'll go with Gallant. Gallant will be cool here. We're actually lacking in 7s in the deck, actually, so probably would have actually been better. Yeah, we'll be better off going for a 7, because we've got more 2s in the deck than we have 7s. So we're going to go with Margrave, actually. When we activate the Margrave, it's going to bring us up to 3 counters on our library. So we're going to 3, and then we will remove the 3 and draw a fresh card, being another Margrave. Now we can continue to freely go through these scales as we would want to, just to try and get more pluses, but of course we're not going to be able to get any further So it's up to you whether or not you even want to play this card. You can hold it and just hope that, you know, your next kind of subsequent draws on your next few turns get you into more scales. So honestly, at this point, we're probably better off holding it. So we've got no counters on this. So our next play is going to be quite simply to overlay. You can go in a varied number of ways. It depends on whether or not you really want to hold on to the library. Personally, I am going to bank on our opponent attacking. Actually, no. We don't have to worry about it because we've got the throws. So our opening play here, or our next play, realistically, if we're fairly certain the opponent doesn't have like double MST, is that we should go into Antiluminescent Knight, hold the Margrave in our hand, set the throws, and pass turn to our opponent. Then in our opponent's standby phase, we can flip the throws, distributing these two back to our extra deck, and we're left with a Kind Gorgon on the field that can redirect their MSTs to this Margrave if we should need it. And the card that's stopping all, I believe, stopping both of us from normal or special summoning effect monsters. So we're then left with a situation next turn where, say, even if they do have the MST, we redirect it to this Margrave, and we get one on this because the MST was activated. Like, say they kind of played into that. We can then go into our next turn drawing a fresh new card, which is a Crusader. So we'll swap that out again just for the visual purposes for a real Crusader. So we then draw into a Crusader, which is absolutely phenomenal because we can go 1, 2, up to 3 on this one hypothetically, remove it, draw, and then we can pendulum summon as much as we could want. And realistically, all our opponent is going to have presented us with is a set monster that Antiluminescent Knight should be able to attack over. So that's one of our plays that we can open up with. So I'm just going to kind of get these all added back into the deck, reshuffle, and we'll see if we can go again. You know, if I cut this, I cut it, but yeah. Right, let's go again. So we're going to draw our opening, that's 4, 5 cards. So we have Templar, Monk, Upstart, Templar, Summoner's Art. So that's interesting. Here we're going to go for the Monk play. So we're going to go Monk, activate effect to get library wherever you are. We're going to, of course, get that library in defense. Activate Summoner's Art to put this to 1 on the library. Searching as a copy of... Oh, no, not Gallant, because Gallant isn't the one we want to open up our opening plays. We want Margrave. Now, this is where the deck can get pretty cool. If this was going second, you can make a really cool Trapeze Magician play with Excalibur, but this is going first. So we're going to activate Margrave and Templar, which puts us to 3 on this. Activate this to draw 1 card. So we draw the Mallet. We're going to send these 2 away. I'm honestly going to change this out for the throws because that's what it's meant to be. So we're going to have these 2. I'm going to search for... we should realistically be going for the other... Oh, no, not that one. Where's the Paladin? There's the Paladin. We should realistically be going for the Paladin. Activating 1 and activating 2. Here's where we have to be here's where we run the risk of chancing it again, though. That's the problem. We can pendulum these 2 out, and we can make a pretty modest play with that. But we stand to go so much further plus if we get anything off of our next play. So I don't know why I'm so bad at this, because I really am risky. We're gonna play conservatively for the sake of the video. So we're gonna pendulum summon these 2. That's our pendulum summon gone for the turn. So we'll drop these 2 out, and we'll go for another Margrave. Okay, because we've seen a lot of 7s. So we'll pendulum those out. Playing the Margrave will of course bring us to 3 on the library. We're then going to draw for the library, and we draw a Rotor, which is actually really, really strong for us. So we've gone off of this one. So we're going to play the Rotor, put this back on 1. Searching out, it ultimately doesn't hugely matter now, so we're just going to go for the Templar here. Play the Templar, and it's going to bring us to 2 on the library. Because ultimately here we're going for another Antiluminescent throws play. So it's bringing us to 2. We're then going to get rid of these 2 to search for... Should probably turn this sideways so people don't think it's activated. We're going to search for... We're going to keep the 2 Paladins in the deck to keep our Rescue Rabbit alive. So we're just going to go for a Crusader here. Thin the deck. Get some of the 2s out to counterbalance the amount of 7s we've had out of the deck. activate it, putting this to 3, draw a card, draws the upstart, so we're going to upstart, putting us to 1, drawing into the squire, activate the squire, putting us to 2. You see how this can just keep going if you essentially if you get lucky after you've made your secure play. We're going to add Gallant, play the Gallant and draw 1. So we draw to, I believe we were on, I've forgotten where we were now. Oopsie. We'll go to 3. Yeah, it was on 2. So we'll go to 3, draw a card. The upstart again. That upstart again, which is huge. We'll upstart into this. So it puts us to 1. We get the hamster, which is actually really great because it lets us continue. So we activate the hamster, putting us to 2, and then we can banish the hamster to get 2 copies of the same card out of our extra deck, provided we have them. Yep, we have the 1 and 2 Templars. And this is what I mean by the hamster being huge, because now we have a Templar in hand. We can activate this one, putting us to 3, draw a card by taking them off. And this can just go on forever. We'll move these 2 off to add the squire. Ultimately, we're going to try and end this play with a stable scale in hand. I'm just going to change this for the visual aid. Well, ultimately, as I said, we're going to try and end this with a correct scale, either in hand or on field. We're going to put the 2 back down, putting us to 2 on this one. And then we're going to immediately sack them off to search for a 2 to go with our current guy. So we're going to go with Squire. No, Squire's a 7. We're going to go with another Crusader, if there even are any left. So let's get the actual Crusader again. So, yep, so we've got the Crusader. We're going to activate the Crusader, putting us to 3 on this guy again, drawing us into a Margrave, which is, this thing just keeps going. And at the moment, I think we're just going to keep this, we're going to put this into 1, get these 2 gone. At the moment, the only thing I'm really looking for in the deck now is the Birdman. Because if we get the Birdman, then we get to make the Dragon as well as the big guy. But don't know if that's really worth hunting for as much as we are. So we'll search out the Gallant. And then we're just going to hold this, honestly. We'll stop now. We'll set this. We'll make Kane Gorgon here, wherever he's gone. We'll make the Kane Gorgon. And again, we're left with a really solid play of having a scale in hand if we need it. Tyrants. Oh no, sorry. It did have to be. It needed to leave this. That was my bad. You have to make it with this because then you can sack away these 2, and you have to actually have a pendulum scale. But you get the idea. But we'll go for 1 more of these. I'm actually going to edit these to actually save time. But we'll do 1 more of these hands because that was essentially the same play as before. Last opening hand is going to be, of course, we're going first, so it's going to be the wonderful 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's interesting. We definitely have a play. It's not fantastic, but it's a play. So we're going to summon the library. We're going to activate the 1 and the 2, putting us to 2. Popping these 2 away. We're going to have to go for another Crusader here because of the hamster. And we've honestly got to hope, because our hand was pretty dead, we've got to hope that we see another Ignite. So we're going to go 3. And here comes the moment of truth, boys and girls. We do see another Ignite. So we drew. We're going to play it, putting us back to 1. Activate these 2 to go. Adding another one of the level 4s so we can make our opening play if we need to. So add the Templar, activate the Templar, activate the hamster, putting us back to 3, removing the 3, drawing a card, Summoner's Art, always fine and dandy to see. So here we're going to then banish the hamster to add back 2 identical monsters in our extra deck. So we're going to add back the 2 copies of the Crusader. We're then going to activate this Crusader, bringing us to 1. Sack them both away. You know how this goes by now. So we're going to grab Margrave, I believe. Margrave will be the solid choice here. We're going to then summon us up. Put these to 2. Adding us a copy of Gallant. No, we'll go with the Margrave because this adds us towards our Durendal play. So we'll get on the Margrave. We'll then activate 1 Margrave and draw a card. So because it puts us to 3. Remove it, drawing a card. Pot of Riches, definitely not a bad card to see here. Activate the Margrave, putting us to 1. Letting these go again. And we now have the full complement needed for the actual opening play that we were talking about. So we will be looking to make that somewhat soon. But we'll see what happens. So for our 7, we're going to be grabbing another Templar. So we're on 1. Activate, putting us to 3. Drawing a card again. So we're drawing to the mallet or the throws, whatever we're going to call it. And actually, if that is the throws, I'm going to change it out now because that means we have an absolutely monumental opening hand. Because we can, if it's the throws, then it just gets nutty from here on in, really. So we have this. I need to check what our extra deck is, really. That's pretty nice. I think at this point we have to now make the pendulum play. So here we're going to pendulum our rabbit. I'm making sure I get this right because I don't want to make a fool of myself. Our rabbit, our 2 Margraves, and a Templar. Yep. We're then going to banish our rabbit. Of course, sorry, we can't do that yet because we have no room. What am I talking about? We're going to overlay our 2 Margrave into a copy of Artifact Durendal. We're then going to activate our rabbit because we should still have 2 level 4s in the deck because we should have our 2 paladins, which are there. Which we need to now use. That's the only problem. Because I've just realised my play doesn't work as well as I thought it did. To cut a long story short, I thought I could use my throws really well here, but I actually can't. Because these die. So we're actually going to have to ignore the throws and just play it as a bluff back right now because we're garbage at the game. Well, I'm garbage at the game. I'm not going to include you guys in my like horrendousness. But here we're just going to go overlay into the giant hand because we need it as an opening, kind of our opening card, if you will. And then I guess here we overlay these 2 into just something relatively useful. I mean, we can make the samurai to redirect attacks from stuff like the giant hand or the Durendal, or we can go into like this guy and this guy if we're playing against Shadows or any Burning Abyss or anything like that. So I mean, just for the purposes of the video, we'll go into this. We'll have this set. Our extra deck is actually 3 cards, so we could Riches if we wanted to. I'm not sure if we want to because, of course, we've got a lot of materials that are going to be falling off of our monsters. So realistically, we want to hold the Riches as well. So at the moment, we can set this as well. We have the Durendal to protect us from larger effects. We can just redirect it to pop one of our back row cards. We have the Giant Hand to protect from large plays, and we have the Diamond to protect from dark effects, and anything that's going to be sending directly from the deck to the grave. So ultimately, that's going to bring me to about the end of this demonstration video. Let me know if you've enjoyed this. I've kind of had fun doing it, aside from the fact this room is boiling, and talking for about 20 minutes straight is really difficult in a boiling hot room. But yeah, otherwise, if you've enjoyed this, leave a like so I know you did. Comment down below to tell me to do more and tell me what decks you'd like me to do. And otherwise, subscribe if you want to see more of these if I decide to do more. And share this with your friends if you think they would benefit from learning about some Ignites. Otherwise, this is Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.